The recent killing of notorious cartel leader known as El Mencho has created uncertainty within one of Mexico's most powerful criminal organizations. Some experts say that instability could push cartel members to look north, including possibly setting up drug manufacturing and trafficking networks in Canada. For a closer look at what that kind of instability could mean for us here in Canada, we're joined by Chris Dolby. He's a senior analyst at Dynamic Security Intelligence and author of CJNG, a quick guide to Mexico's deadliest cartel. Good morning.
Thank you so much for having me, Anne. Why
would Canada be an attraction for groups compared to operating solely in Mexico or in the United States?
There are things that Canada can offer a Mexican drug cartel that no other location in the world can. First of all, it has a, yes, lesser drug market than the US, but it still has a population of middle-class to wealthy Canadians who want to consume fentanyl, methamphetamine, and cocaine, and Mexican cartels are all too happy to supply that. But the major reason is, as you said in your intro, drug manufacturing. And this is not new. What we've seen in recent years is a really worrying trend where Canada is like the last mile for drug processing. So cocaine paste is sent into Canada and turned into powder. Fentanyl is finalized in pill form in Canada. That doesn't just stay in Canada. Those pills, that cocaine, are then sent into the US across a border that is a lot less policed than the Mexico-US border. Even beyond that, methamphetamine, cocaine, manufactured in Canada, owned by Mexican drug cartels, is now going to other parts of the world. We know that Canada can serve as a sort of clean origin point for shipments that are going to Australia and New Zealand and are going to get a lot less scrutiny than if they were coming from Mexico.
RCMP here in Canada obviously share concerns about the cartels moving north. And we'll be looking at that at both our ports and at places within the country. How do international cartels typically establish themselves in a new country?
So obviously, we hear sometimes these exaggerations, right, about, oh, the cartels are coming to the US or the cartels are coming to Canada, they're going to kill lots of people. Not at all. The cartels are not operating in Canada as they would in Mexico, and they have no ability to do so. They are the wholesalers. They're the middlemen. They're not the people who are selling the drugs to individual Canadians. For that, they work with motorcycle gangs, they work with Chinese organized crime, they might work with South Asian organized crime, especially around Toronto. But most of their activity is going to be in the two cities of Vancouver and Montreal, the port cities. And there you have massive vulnerabilities. The RCMP actually gets a bad rap. I don't think they're doing a bad job. I think we have the picture that we have of the way Mexican organized crime is in Canada is because of really strong work by RCMP and federal authorities in Canada. There's been a lot of encouraging collaboration with the US and with Mexico, especially on the capture of Ryan Wedding recently. But the reality of it is there's too many containers to inspect. You can't inspect every container. You can't scan them all. And so drugs are always going to get through.
Should Canadians be concerned about a potential increase of violence if cartel influence shows up in a more prominent sense here?
Yes. We have seen in a localized way that when, for example, competing cartels compete for the same destination, like a Vancouver, like a Montreal, or when a foreign crime group gets powerful enough, influential enough, to rival the interests of groups that are already established here, and Canada does have a sort of United Nations of crime in it, right? You have motorcycle gangs, South Indian, Chinese, and Mexican as well as your homegrown gangs. So yes, I wouldn't say that it's a risk across the country, but we are at a risk of seeing an elevated risk of localized and temporary violent flashpoints.
An interesting conversation. Chris Dolby, senior analyst at Dynamic Security Intelligence and author of CJNG, a quick guide to Mexico's deadliest cartel. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you very much.
If you like that video, make sure to subscribe to the Your Morning YouTube feed, where you can find all kinds of new content posted every weekday morning.